Xbox has been in the freaking dirt for years now. And at this point, I don't know what it's going to take for these suckers to start finally picking up the broken pieces and rebuilding themselves back up into the brand that we used to know with the Xbox 360. A gamer, you see? Way too. You know what I find sad? Like, in all honesty, gaming news this year has been so dry and so unexciting for the most part that as soon as something like this come out, even though it's again us crapping on Xbox, suckers just gravitate towards anything that they could talk about right now. And every time it's something that deals with Xbox, it's never anything good. Like, I don't remember the last time something came from Camp Xbox and I was like, ooh, yo, this could be really good for them in the future. I don't remember. A tale as old as time. Truly, tale as old as time. Xbox is shutting down 4 studios. These studios are including Arkane Austin, which I believe were the recent Redfall developers. Can't really say too much about that. I can't really say too much about that. We all know how Redfall turned out after it was claiming to be like one of the big games for the Xbox Series X/S. And also the big one is Tango Gameworks. Now, Tango Gameworks was responsible for the recent, title that a lot of people loved if you actually played it, Hi-Fi Rush. They also did Ghostwire Tokyo, and I think were responsible for Evil Within. That studio is also getting shut down. Xbox executive Matt Booty sent out a company-wide email detailing upcoming studio layoffs. Now, we also know layoffs in the gaming industry for the past like 2 to 3 years, it seems like, has just been running rampant. This is not just something that's going on with Xbox. I think earlier this year, like in February, Sony had also had layoffs in the PlayStation division. So this is not just a Microsoft issue, but for these studios to be getting shut down, especially someone like Tango Gameworks, suckers is in an uproar. Even though, you know what I find the most crazy about this junk? If I'm being completely 100% honest, I know it's not even what I feel. A lot of Xbox players did not mess with Hi-Fi Rush like that. Suckers didn't go out and support Hi-Fi Rush. You freaking played it on Game Pass. Had Microsoft complaining, oh, nobody is support. Yo, there's such stupidity on both sides when it comes to being an Xbox owner. These suckers do Game Pass, then are shocked when people don't actually go and purchase and support these freaking games. They didn't even advertise or market Hi-Fi Rush. They showed one trailer, and that same day it dropped. Suckers then, of course, are going to go on Game Pass because they don't really know too much about the game and say, well, let's try out this game. And then a few months later, these suckers was complaining about the lack of sales of Hi-Fi. What the freak? Like, huh? There's just incompetence on like from the consumers when they like don't support these games and then are then shocked when they hit different platforms, and Microsoft themselves. Like, let's continue on. Let's continue on. These changes are not a reflection of the creativity and skill of the talented individuals at these teams or the risks that they took to try new things, said Booty in the email. I acknowledge that these changes are also disruptive to the various support teams across ZeniMax and Bethesda that bring our games to market. We are making these tough decisions to create capacity to increase investment in other parts of okay. A lot of people feel like Microsoft just be lying. Like, I've legit seen people just like I've seen X drones on Twitter now complain that like Phil Spencer just be lying. He always just deliver. Well, he always puts out these promises but can never deliver, so they become false promises that he never makes. And again, I've said before, I don't feel like all of just the failure after failure after failure is all on Phil Spencer. I don't. But because he is the head of Xbox, he's going to take responsibility for a lot of the stuff that's been going on with Xbox. But I've said before, this is... Yo, how many times, like, when are you suckers going to listen to me? I've been doing this for the past 2 years. Xbox needs to be gutted, bro. They need to be. Like, I ain't gonna lie. I feel like this might... I mean, again, this goes back to last gen with Xbox One. Xbox One has never recovered from last gen. The Xbox brand used to be so much more powerful and so much more like, oh my god, like, you don't have an Xbox, what's wrong with you? You look at the Xbox brand today, bro. Like, again, let's take all the fanboy stuff out of the way. You look at PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox. Which is the weakest one out of those three? You can say whatever the hell you want about Nintendo and how outdated it is. Nintendo, that brand is very successful and people know what you get with Nintendo. PlayStation. PlayStation hasn't been killing it this year or last year, really. But PlayStation still has stuff. Microsoft, Xbox, for the past, but this junk going on what, like a decade, bro? I feel like the only thing Xbox has been doing is what Microsoft can do better than anyone else. Shell out a bunch of money to acquire this studio, acquire that one. And what does it get? What does it get them in the long run? Somebody please tell me a studio that Microsoft has acquired that has actually helped the Xbox brand.
Don't worry, I'll wait.
These suckers gave Bethesda $7 billion. Do people even care about Starfield anymore at this point? And to get rid of Tango Gameworks, which I feel like was the one bright spot that these suckers had recently with Hi-Fi Rush. Now, granted, I ain't need no Xbox to play Hi-Fi Rush. I played that on PC, but that was one of the few, you know, good games recently that the Xbox had. And I don't even really feel like they gave that game a chance to be successful. Is Ninja Theory next? Is Ninja Theory going to be the next studio that shuts down when Hellblade 2 inevitably don't do what these Xbox players think is going to do? Where the hell is Perfect Dark Zero? I don't remember the last positive thing I heard coming from Camp Xbox. I really don't. And these suckers like to, once they show up on like the freaking what's the day of junk called? The freaking Xbox Direct, or now they be having those little business sit downs. These suckers love to get on camera and like act like it's all fine and dandy over at Camp Xbox, and Sarah Bond be sitting up there, just Phil Spencer just be sitting up Phil Spencer just be sitting up there, like Matt Beauty just be sitting up there like hey guys, just acting like it's all fine and dandy over at Camp. It ain't been fine and dandy over at Camp Xbox since like the Xbox 360 era. Tango Gameworks is Tango Gameworks is closing as well, which the studio has confirmed on Twitter. Hi-Fi Rush will still be available for purchase, and presumably its other titles such as The Evil Within and Ghostwire Tokyo. I low-key forgot about Ghostwire. I didn't really check for that game once it dropped, but two other studios impacted are Alpha Dog Games and Roundhouse Games. The former is a mobile game developer most known for Mighty Doom, and the latter studio was founded in 2019 after the closure of Human Head Studios. Arkane Austin has been relatively silent since the release of Redfall. Last week marked the 1-year anniversary of Redfall's launch, and fans noticed that its promised DLC characters hadn't been released yet. This round of layoffs comes shortly after Xbox already laid off 1,900 jobs back in January. With the track record that Xbox has been going on these past few years, and like even the games that do get some type of attention, like Hi-Fi Rush or Sea of Thieves, which is now coming to PlayStation. You got Hi-Fi Rush now on PlayStation. Phil Spencer promised you suckers during that business podcast thing that they had, that Starfield would not be coming to PlayStation, or Hellblade 2 would be coming to PlayStation. Starfield, I don't even know the population of players that's still playing that game. From what I've heard, Starfield is like completely dead right now. I could be wrong, but I'm hearing that a lot of people aren't even playing that game no more. Hellblade 2. I need to ask Xbox players, when are y'all gonna stop lying to the public? When are you suckers gonna stop lying and pretending that you care this much about Hellblade 2? Most Xbox players was literally slandering Hellblade when it was exclusive on PlayStation first. Didn't even care about the game, and you called it a movie game. Now all of a sudden, Hellblade 2 is gonna be a Xbox exclusive, and now all of a sudden this is the new Xbox savior, right? This is it. Like, bro, stop lying. You're not, like, stop lying. I've literally seen a trend with Xbox gamers that pretend that they are going to support this title or that title. The title comes out, they get it through Game Pass, or they play it for like 2 or 3 hours, never to freaking return, and just go back to playing Fortnite or Forza, or I don't know. I really don't know. Like, this is a problem. Like, if you hadn't noticed already, Xbox has a serious problem. I be sounding like a broken record when I'm talking about these suckers, bro. This junk is sad that every time I gotta get on camera, because gaming news is so dry, so suckers want to talk about, hey, well, News is dry, so let's laugh at Xbox again. Like, this is sad that every time I have to get on camera to talk about Xbox, it's never nothing good. When is this junk going to change? I'm not saying that Phil Spencer needs to be fired. I know some people are saying that he needs to be fired. Their game plan has not been working. Clearly. What is Microsoft's true end game? Do they have all their faith in Bethesda since they acquired them for so much? You know, they acquired Activision. We had seen the leaked emails, I think last year, how these suckers is trying to acquire Nintendo. Literally. In those leaked emails, Phil was like, oh, it'd be great if one day we can acquire, like, that. I said that before. I think that is Microsoft's only plan that they have. Just toss suckers a bunch of money and hope to acquire them, and Microsoft literally wants to just monopolize the gaming industry, and they own every studio out there, so when they're putting out these games, essentially you have to play it through, you know, either Xbox or PC. That's what, hell, if Microsoft could acquire Sony today, I guarantee you that they freaking would. That is I feel like that is the only thing that Microsoft feels like they can do right now. Because that is their freaking strength. Well, we have money. So let's just buy this studio or let's just buy that studio. Oh, Nintendo, come over here. Outside of that, dog, the road that these suckers have been on since last generation, it would not shock me not one bit if towards the end of this year, Starfield drops on it really would not shock me. It wouldn't. If Starfield came to PlayStation, it was already rumored that it was going to be coming to PlayStation. Once Hellblade 2 does not get as much sales as suckers thinks is going to get, it wouldn't shock me if that comes to a PlayStation. Xbox literally needs a system refresh. Like, they literally need a system restore of the Xbox brand. Because at this point, again, take all the fanboyism out of it. If you are primarily an Xbox player and you want to be a proud Xbox owner and feel like you know what big games are going to be on Xbox and you know what the Xbox brand stands for, how can you feel good about being an Xbox owner? Like, all jokes aside, is it just the end all be all with Game Pass? I mean, if that's all that you care about, then great. But if you want something more than that and something past that, Xbox has been in the freaking dirt for years now. And at this point, I don't know what it's going to take for these suckers to start finally picking up the broken pieces and rebuilding themselves back up into the brand that we used to know with the Xbox 360. The last time I felt like, bro, you ain't got no Xbox? Shit. Since then, I don't need no damn Xbox, bro. Y'all let me know what do y'all think about this. If you are an Xbox owner, how do you feel currently about, you know, the Xbox brand? Do you not care about any of this stuff going on as long as you could play games on it and none of this stuff matters to you? Y'all leave all y'all thoughts and comments down in the comments section below. It's so unfortunate that, again, we always have to talk about something bad from Xbox. Like, I'm praying for the day to where some news comes out for Xbox and I have to get on camera and be like, Sony, you suckers in trouble. Like, the day that happens, I'm gonna actually be happy prior to what some people Prior to what some people believe, I would be happy if that happens. I don't know, man.